Okay, students. So, what I decided here was to give you maybe a little tutorial on how to use the Desmos calculator, since I think a lot of us, this is probably our best option. Okay, so I'm at my Google search page, and you could type in Desmos calculator and you'll find it that way, but I'm going to go directly there. I'm going to go up to there we go, the address bar, and www.desmos.com. Put it in just like that, www.desmos.com, hit enter. And you're going to get this screen. This is the entrance to Desmos, okay? So there's three types of calculators you have here. You have your graphing calculator, you have your scientific calculator, and you have your four-function calculator. I'm not going to look at the four-function calculator. This might be good for if you have a little brother or a sister who just needs a very basic calculator that does addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. This might be a good one for them, but let's stay out of it. The next box over here, I know it's hard to see, but I'm trying to do it the best I can. They'll say scientific. This is a good calculator for most of your needs. As long as you don't have to graph, I would use the scientific calculator. Now it's a little hard to see here, but if you go on any web page, and go from there, you will get this. It's got sine, cosine, and tangent. For those of us who are doing trig, it's got square root. You could square something. You could put something up to a higher exponent. Absolute value. You can cube root. You have pi. You have parentheses. You have a comma. You have all the number buttons. Addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, fractions. All these things are right here. Now, for those of us, there's also a function button. You see here it says FUNC. You might not see it on my screen, but if you go and explore, you will see it. So if you want to switch it over to other functions, there's other functions. So if you hit the function button, it's almost, I would say it's like the second button on our calculator, the blue button. So it's like the blue button. Not that you necessarily need anything here. What you call inverse sine, inverse cosine, inverse tangent here for my geometry students, but that's it. We have some letters here, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Your keyboard works with this. You don't have to use the mouse. And also here, for geometry, you can go between degrees and radians. But that's it. That's basic calculator. So I think for most of our calculations that you can do, I would do them on here. Now I'm going to back out. I'm going to go back to the home page. Back here again. So scientific calculator. Don't worry about these. These are just other things you can do on the site. They don't have anything to do with a calculator. Now, if you want a graphing calculator, that's up here. That's the big red button. Now, this is not going to be good for adding and subtracting numbers. This is really just good for graphing. Okay, it's an excellent grapher, but that's the only really reason you want to use this. So if I'm doing 35 times 10, I don't want to use this. I want to use this. Okay, but if something's a little bit more difficult, and I want to graph it, this is what I want to put it on. So here's my option to graph. So I'm going to go to the graphing calculator. This is the one we use in class all the time. Now remember, you have a bottom left-hand corner here. My fingers, see, going all the way down. Go down to this bottom left-hand corner. There's a keyboard. You can open it up, and it has all those same functions. You can write in anything you want. For those of us who are graphing, let's say in algebra, and you want to do 2, I can even put this up here. X plus 4 plus 4. Oh, look at that. So that graphs that particular one. I could do square roots. I can do exponents. I could do x. Oh, they have an x and a y here. Everything could be done from here. I like this. If you get used to it, it's nice because it highlights when you point to certain points. So if I want to look here and say where's the y-intercept, it says 0, 4. Where's the x-intercept? -2, 0. Other key points are usually highlighted, and you can just scroll over them. This can be used on any phone with a browser on it, a web browser. It can be used on a tablet. This can be used on a home computer. So you have a ton of options to use this one. Now, I know some of us have tried the app, and that's good too. That's good. So just a quicker way to get to it. But it's essentially the same device. So if you want to if you're working from a home computer or a tablet or your phone, and you don't want to worry about the app or you're having trouble with the app, just go here. And you have the two calculators that you will possibly need, the scientific over here and the graphing calculator over there. All right, have a good one, ladies and gentlemen. I'll talk to you in a bit.